Okay, thank you everybody for coming. You will rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, our first order of business tonight is to recognize outstanding student achievement. So, Dr. Fernandez.
Thank you so much. I'm going to actually turn it over to Ms. Gerson so that we can recognize our National Merit semifinalists who are here. Many of them, I think maybe all of them are here with us tonight. So please take it away.
Hi, it's always the fun part dealing with students. Eric is proud to congratulate 8 seniors on being named National Merit Scholarship semifinalists. And for those of you who may not be aware, semifinalists are chosen, 16,000 are chosen among 1.3 million juniors in over 21,000 high schools. And so they represent 1%, the top 1% of all high school seniors and the highest scoring entrants in each state. So it's really, really a commendable achievement for these students. And so as I call your names, if you could please come on. I think I'm gonna all right. Benjamin Hogan. Faxon Hoke. Connie Klein. Faiz Jalil. Daniel Eng. Vera Peng. Arjun Sharma. And Madeline Wong.
All right, let's give it up for our National Merit. In the whole country, and I can tell you my colleagues in the region are very jealous because we pretty much have the largest group in the area. So
And then look at me and then you can look at your parents. It wasn't such a big group.
let's give them one more round of applause.
Personal congratulations to all the parents. Without you,
We do want our students have homework and stuff, so if you need to head out to our National Merit semifinals, please. Won't be offended.
you'll allow the families to leave for a minute, for those who want to leave.
Plenty of seats for those that want to go there.
Okay, so there's seats here if you'd like to sit. Okay, so we're going to change a couple of things a little bit tonight on the agenda. So right now, I'd like to have a motion to move routine business on the agenda to this portion.
I'd like to move item Roman numeral 8, recommended action routine business.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. So we're going to go to announcements and correspondence. And I would like to-
Thank you so much. Jim, we're going to start with an announcement from, I just want to preface it by saying our announcements this evening are personal, are a bit somber in terms of what they're connected to, and so not our typical celebration of things associated with our kids in our schools. I just want to preface that. I'll turn it over first to Liz and Dina to share an update about a colleague of ours. Closer.
So, today we had a very sad loss in our district. Dr. Sinanis, Ms. Gerson, myself, Lydia. So sorry. Today was a sad day for our district. Today we had to go to our Town family and share with them that one of our teachers was not doing well and was in the hospital. And about 2 hours ago, we found out that he passed away. So I ask that everyone keep Mr. Paul Michaels in your heart. Keep his family in your prayers. Paul was a speech teacher with us. He started in Benton Avenue and then went to Searingtown. He is the best. We are sharing the information with our Herrick's community. This is probably the biggest announcement we're going to make before news goes out tomorrow. We are thinking of Paul's family. We are thinking of our Searingtown family. We are thinking about our students who worked with Mr. Michaels in speech. He's touched upon pretty much every grade level that we have here now. So.
Really sorry. I was the principal of Searingtown for many years, for 9 years. Some of you may know that. And Mr. Michaels worked at Searingtown for that time that I was there. He's really a bright light, bigger than life. And he did some of our talent shows. He was really big into Broadway and twisted his arm on many occasions to be the director of our shows. He's just a wonderful human being, and it's
This together. Just want to say we lost her now.
so sorry.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Dina. Lisa, I'd also like to share an update that is associated with a community not too far away that was impacted by a tragedy today. Yes.
Earlier today, for those that may have not seen the news at the moment, earlier today, this afternoon, it was reported that a bus used by the Farmingdale School District. Sorry, earlier today, it was reported that a bus used by the Farmingdale School District was involved in a crash in Orange County. Details are still unfolding, but on behalf of the Harris community, we want to extend our support and thoughts to the Farmingdale community.
We have colleagues in the district who were directly impacted by this event in Orange County. And so our thoughts and prayers are with them. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing that update. And again, I apologize. We don't normally acknowledge and speak about topics like this, but these are topics that are incredibly important to members of our community. Thank you, Mr. Nash.
Because whether they're students here or another district, they're all our students. And we're all trying to do the same thing, give our kids a better life, give them experiences that maybe we didn't have growing up, and make sure they're getting the best possible, well-rounded education. So we're praying for all those families in Farmingdale and for the family of Mr. Michaels. Okay. We're gonna go to any other announcements. Let's start with our high school reps. If you have anything to tell us what's going on in the high school or not.
They are going to lift our spirits in a moment, so it's all good.
Come on, Atul, you and that smile, you got this. You gotta change the tone.
So in the past 2 weeks at the high school, the clubs have been going on, and they've had their initial meetings, and many clubs are having a great turnout. It's just been great seeing so many students, especially freshmen, wanting to be involved with the community and all we offer at Harris. And I was also excited to hear when I heard that Denton had won the title of a National Blue Honor Ribbon School, which filled me with pride as a Denton student. So I was very happy to hear that. And then
we also have a lot of exciting upcoming events at the high school. Homecoming this year is Friday, October 13th, and it is a whiteout. And also the PTSA is hosting a homecoming dance on Saturday, October 14th, and you could find ticket information in your emails.
Thank you.
Go Jen.
Brian, do you have anything?
No, nothing at this time.
Julie?
Can we go to the homecoming dance too?
I had the pleasure of going to the athletic boosters meeting earlier this week and welcoming in the new school year and joining and supporting athletics in our schools. And, it's very exciting to see all of the great things that they have planned. So stay tuned.
Nancy?
I started the afternoon at the soccer game, so I don't know how the boys varsity soccer team ended up, but they looked good while I was there. So go Highlanders!
Yeah.
Henry?
No, I don't have anything at this time.
Dr. Semanas?
Thank you. I do want to just second Atul's comments on Denton Avenue School being named a National Blue Ribbon School, and congratulations to the entire Denton Avenue School community. And the entire Harris community. We will be celebrating Denton at one of our board meetings in October, likely the latter of the two in October. So we'll have more to share about that then. And if it's okay with you, I would like
Yes,
to.
we're going to read a statement together. Going to start.
I'd like to provide some information as a follow-up to the email that went out earlier this week. The information is somewhat of a timeline, so the community is aware of what has unfolded this week. After 9 p.m. on Tuesday, we learned of a video that was circulating on the internet. Within minutes, our Board of Education and leadership team mobilized and began investigating the matter to the extent we could. Later that night, an email went out to the community updating them on this matter and informing them that the teacher was removed from the secondary classroom. The following morning, we informed legal authorities and continued investigating in an effort to ensure the safety of our students. We also took the steps to ensure that our students and staff were supported and had access to counselors if necessary, and that continues to be in place.
At this point, we can share with all of you and those watching at home that the teacher is no longer employed by the district. Please understand that this is a personnel matter, so we are very limited in terms of what information we can share, but we aimed to answer as many questions as we could with this statement. That's the conclusion of the statement. So we hope that that combination gave you some of the information that you were hoping to find out tonight. So now we're going to move to the next part of the agenda, which is questions or comments from the public. Wait. I have to read the disclaimer, and I wanted to make sure everybody understands that there are limitations to what we can answer in this setting, especially when it comes to specific individuals. So, in this session, this is the time period designed for the public to address the board. Please limit your questions or comments to 3 minutes per person. Guidelines include the following. The Board of Education will listen to comments and input from the public. Debate between members of the audience and/or board members is inappropriate and is not permitted. The Board of Education is not permitted to address personnel or individual student matters in public session. Operational matters should be directed to the school business administration for handling. The person posing the question must state their complete name and the town in which they reside. Only residents and employees of the district may pose questions or comments. Seeing that, there is a microphone over there, and if you raise your hands, we'll call on you and you can go to the microphone and ask your question. So, are there any questions or comments from the public at this time? Yes, you first. No, ma'am, I went to her, sorry. I'm right to left, sorry.
Hello, first I'd like to greet everyone and say good night. I'm short.
You gotta speak right into it, because these microphones, you gotta be right on top.
Yes, hi. First I want to say good night, and I'm glad that this meeting is being held. I appreciate it. I'm Tamar Bedouin. I'm a parent here. I'm Rosamond.
What, can you tell us your first and last name, please?
Yes, Tamar Bedouin and Rosamond.
Welcome.
So anyhow, I really wanted to ask a question about maybe the aftermath of this. Like, it's kind of two questions. I don't know per se how long the teacher was employed here. So if this teacher has been here even over 1 year, I know I have a daughter who went to the middle school here. Is there going to be any measures? Are you going to take any measures to kind of speak with students who might have had this teacher, because we don't know what his influence was, whether it was putting ideas in a child's mind or doing something inappropriate? Are you going to take any measures to find out if there are any victims?
We did reference in the email, in the statement, sorry, that an investigation is happening. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, this is a really shocking topic, and it's very personal to me.
Of course.
I think every child should at least feel safe. Is there a vetting process when you hire the teachers to do a background check?
Required
See if
by
they
law,
have a
yes.
record or something? Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am, you're next.
Good evening. My name is Linda Saboboro. My son is with me right now. He's an 8th grade band student. He's a trombone player. I was in touch with the teacher in question over, I guess in August, because I had a lot of questions. We were so excited to get him into the jazz band. I myself was trained in Herrick's. I moved to this district specifically for the music program. I was a band teacher. I was a student teacher at Herrick's High School. So I was really excited to move into this district and get my son started in the music program in Searingtown and now at the middle school. And it was always my dream to have him be in the jazz band. And for this to happen now was just heartbreaking and shocking, especially as a trained music teacher here in our school district. So I just wrote up some things because I knew I'd probably be a little nervous up here. But parents and students are confused, worried, and scared. What is going to be done to help students and parents overcome this complete loss of trust? Now, I do understand that you did say there was counseling, but I feel that a lot of students are not comfortable going to speak to somebody individually, especially middle school students. They're probably more prepared to be in a group setting. So are there group counseling for the students? Because they're very scared and they lost trust, as did the parents. That's my first question.
What I will say to your question, your son is an 8th grader at the middle school is what you stated, yes? There are, from my understanding, and I could be wrong, I don't have all the details in front of me, but in general, our counselors do see groups of students and also see students individually. That's what I can say to that.
Okay.
Can I add one thing to you? Your dream is not over about your son being in our amazing jazz band. And one person doesn't make the entire district win or lose. And that winning first starts with the families and the parents and the students who work together with our staff.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So just have faith in what we do here and know that everything will be in order.
Yeah.
Just we have to give it a little time to get past this.
I totally
Traumatic
understand that. Yeah, it's very traumatic
Yes.
on all the parties involved, every single one of us, especially the homeowners. We come to this district specifically for the amazing benefits that we have here. And second of all, I understand the email that was sent, but I was extremely upset because the email that I got was just a blanket email. And as a parent of a student who was assigned to this classroom, I was caught extremely off guard. I just felt like I should have received a separate notification so that I could have adequately prepared with my husband the proper way to have a discussion of this nature with my 8th grade child.
So we understand that, but we are limited in what we can say and do when things like this happen. And the best way for us to do that is to send some sort of notification out that gives everybody the same information. You may have felt that you wanted additional, but that was what council advised us to do, because there's a lot of moving parts to a situation like this. So I'm sorry you felt that way.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I mean, as a parent of a child who was in the classroom with this person, it would have been better if I had time to prepare a proper conversation with my 8th grade son. Thank you.
Sir?
Good evening. My name is Sanjoy Augustine from New Hyde Park. How long has this person been employed by the district? And was there any other incident with this person? And if so, was there any step were taken in the past?
Okay, that's a personnel matter, right? That's specifics about an individual, and we're not allowed by law to share that information in public. I'm sorry. I know that's not what you want to hear. Next, yes, ma'am.
Young Hui Chang, and you can call me May, and actually I'm a resident of New Hyde Park. My children, they're working. Can you hear me?
Maybe just hold it.
How about now?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I need to start over? Okay. Young Hui Chang, you can call me May, residents of New Hyde Park. My 2 children, they graduated from Harris. My daughter is in medical school. My son is working at with a contract company with the Department of Defense. Harris High School and Harris School District is a great school district, but I'm really shocked. I've been a resident for over 26 years. I never heard of this. Never heard of this. And number one, I would like to piggyback with the question. What's your name? I'm Tamara.
Ma'am, you can't talk back and forth, I'm sorry.
And I would like to piggyback on her questions. When you hire a teacher, of course you have the resume. To what extent you will call? You must ask the teachers who create the references. Then to what extent is there any protocol? You will check every references. You will call up the place and ask the questions about such a person.
We do.
For each references on the resume.
There is a thorough process that we follow in HR, not just here in Herrick's, but as far as I know, in most districts in New York State, that is multi-tiered in terms of the vetting that happens, not just reference checks that are formally provided to us, but many informal reference checks. And in fact, if there is a discrepancy in a reference, a candidate will not be hired. So there is a very thorough process, not to exclude also the fact that someone must be fingerprinted and cleared by the state to be a certified teacher in the state. So there is a thorough process, yes.
When a teacher is hired, and is there a committee to interview the teachers, or is it individual principals of the of the school, or?
We have a hiring committee, it goes through that hiring committee.
Who
goes-
are included
Adults,
in the committee?
adults, sorry. Teachers, parents, administrators, it's a large group of people that meet with candidates as they go through the process. Once they get through the selection process, if there's 20 for a position, and it gets, the pool gets made smaller and smaller and smaller. When we get to the final few people, the continuous reference checks go on, including fingerprinting and the whole bit, making sure all the things are cleared with the state before that person gets hired. So no one gets hired if none of that works.
My second question is there any protocol of the school or the district if a teachers or a staff of the Herrick's school district have any social media with the students, with the clubs, with the sports team, with anything in the school? Do you understand? Am I
We
understanding?
have a use of technology policy.
Which
Yeah,
is,
training.
I mean, I can't recite it off the top of my head, I'm
But-
sorry.
But, that doesn't stop an individual from having a private, personal, their own life outside the school district with their own family's Instagram or Facebook or Twitter account. They hold their responsibility with us as a teacher through their school technology requirements, right, and regulations that they have to follow. But if I'm a school teacher, geometry teacher, on Saturday and Sunday, I'm also an individual and I have a family and I have may have my own private family Facebook page, right? But the two don't mix.
I don't mean about their personal social media. I'm talking about it's like a coach or have a group or interacting with the students through whatever social media. For example, at Facebook, they have friends. That's what I'm talking about. Like your social media.
There is a policy around acceptable use of technology that speaks to issues like this.
And you can look at it on the website.
Yes.
On the website.
Yes.
Yep, it's all there.
On the Board of Ed, tab at the top, you go to board policies. Then you have to move it over. Find it.
I'm sure every school district, they have code of conduct, which is, I can find it on the website also.
Yes, everything is there.
How does the district ensure those codes of conduct of individual teachers following? Do they have supervision sessions, evaluation sessions? I know every single teachers, they need to be evaluated by how many percent the students passing this grade, passing regions, passing grade, and whatsoever their component. But is there any protocol or any procedures the districts will do to help the teachers accountable to the code of conduct
which is here on the west side.
You said it yourself, you've been here 26 years. Every person sitting on this board has been on this board for at least 10 to 12 years. Every person on this board has been on this board for 10 to 12 years. If we are just as shocked as you are, but things can happen. In a perfect world, things can happen. In 26 years, you said you're shocked. This is the first time it happens. Don't question the process. The processes are there in place, but there are people that can get around processes. People have social medias outside of the school. We look at as much as we can, but we can't sit, we do not have somebody that monitors social media 24/7 on every individual, on every student, on every teacher in the district.
Don't take it to the extreme. This is not what I asked.
Okay.
I'm
Ma'am,
asking-
ma'am, I must tell you, your 3 minutes expired 2 minutes ago, and I just can't let it go. I have to play it fair.
I'm just letting you know I live here. We approve and disapprove the budget.
Thank you. Sir? All right, we'll go back next.
How are you? My name is Shane Oman, resident of this town. I have a daughter in middle school and a son in the high school. So just a quick question. It's a CBA question, a contract question. If a teacher resigns, are they still entitled to pension and retirement savings? Retirements, whatever plan they have?
Yes.
That's a yes, okay. And then the second question
They
is
paid into that themselves.
the pension and the retirement. Okay. And then the second question is, with this issue that's kind of happening, what is the annual, like, in-service that you provide teachers? I mean, it's a different question than the background, but.
There are mandatory trainings that every staff member has to engage in annually that touch on a number of subjects. So that is state mandated. We facilitate those across every building, and it also includes our subsidy. And even, we have also engaged in training and mandatory trainings for staff who are not technically ours, but we contract with their organization. So there are mandatory trainings in place, yes.
Hi, my name is Chris York, and I'm from Albertson. And I want to tell you guys that I appreciate what you're going through, because I know how you want to talk and you can't, and I understand the limitations. I can't believe I'm going to share something, but I'm going to share something. In 1985, I was a sophomore in high school, and I had a teacher corner me and tried to do something with me. I was bigger than him, and I got away, and nothing happened. I never told my parents, a friend, a classmate, nobody. I can't believe I'm sharing this now, but I think it's important. I went to my 30th high school reunion in 2017 and found out that this guy died and that he was in prison for raping multiple children. And I fainted, and it put me into deep depression because I did not say a word, and I could have stopped, or I think I could have stopped. I'm at peace now. It is very important that counseling and everything else you're going to do. This guy went on sleepaways. I know, I've seen it all. I know what this is. I started following it. You know, this is something that's important to me. There are kids that I'm sure are like me. I'm certain of it. And I want to know what you can do to make sure that these people can speak in not just a group setting or whatever. And I know your hands are tied, but I think it's important for you to know that somebody that reads all this stuff, it's very, very personal to me.
Thank you, Chris. So I just want to add something after you said that. You know, none of the five of us and the whole admin team have probably really slept the last 2 days. And that's not an excuse. Because just as everyone else was shocked, so were we. But I have to give an accolade to the students who, and parents who saw this take place and did not sit on it. They have learned to be advocates for what's right and what's wrong. And that's how quickly it just exploded all over the place. So social media just took it crazy, and there was no silence about this. They were there, they took it, they showed it to parents, they showed it. I mean, I think everyone here will tell you that our phones, when they say the word blow up, my phone was blowing up, our phones were blowing up all night Tuesday. So to all those students and families who right away started reporting it and sending it, and whatever they did, we thank you for that. Because without that, we may have known the day after or the day after that. So that's a testimony to the entire family unit in the district, and the staff members who actually also participated in reporting this. So no one stands for this sort of stuff. No one thinks it's tolerable. So, okay, who's next? Well, I didn't mean to point, I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Cataline Wong, and I'm a resident of Albertson, and I am a current Herrick's High School senior. As a young person myself, I'm in a million of those group chats that you mentioned, and I'm like, they've been blowing up, and it's insane, and we're all just super, super shocked. But I and a lot of my friends I know are still really big fans of playing and performing jazz music and being parts of these ensembles. So with this lack of faculty, what is the process of getting him replaced? Because I know a lot of my friends who are in the high school jazz band, as well as the middle school jazz band, want to know what's happening going forward, and if you guys are looking to recruit any new staff or teachers.
To the degree possible, there will be a minimal disruption to the instructional program associated with the individual who is no longer employed by the district. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
If I could just add, as we all know, Herrick's is a music powerhouse, and there's no way we would allow that to affect our music program in any way, shape, or form. The music program is bigger than one person. It's made up of our students and our families and the love and sweat and tears that we put into that program. So I just want to reassure you that Herrick's music can be untouched in any way.
Good. Next, I saw someone back. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Iman. I live in Manhasset Hills. I have two kids, one junior and the other one, she's special need in high school. So my older one, she's already in jazz band, in blue band, okay? And last year she was in silver band, and she admired the teacher. And she was traumatized, crying like crazy yesterday. She cannot believe that the teacher did that, okay? The second thing it crossed my mind that last year when they went to Philadelphia trip, she told me the girls were with the teacher for choir, the high school teacher choir, the boys were with him, okay? And with Mr. Lidwood as well. And she told me, oh, the boys came and said at night they bring the PlayStation and take 2 TVs and they keep playing all night. I think in the future, what I'm asking, not only 1 or 2 teachers be with the boys and the girls. Make them more, just to supervise each other. That's all.
Thank you. Next. Yes, sir.
Good evening, respected board. Many of you I know, and I really do admire Herrick's son. My name is here in the district as well. So, well, that's understood. Well, yes, the website's not updated. So the code of conduct for the students are extensive. However, There's one specific comment here in regards to the use of technology and talked about sending and receiving stored content that are obscene and inappropriate. So I obviously, and my question really is in terms of the ongoing, internal affairs or things like that in regards to, and I realize your hands are tied and it's very minimal you could say, but at least I wanted to express it in regards to what's happening with internal affairs, either ongoing and reviewing staff and teachers as it pertains to students. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir. Sure.
My name is Al Molding, and I actually graduated from Harrison, 83, so I'm a little longer of the gentleman. And it's pretty amazing that you guys stay up there and say that this has never happened, yet for your last board meeting, you authorized the settlement of a payout for the same exact thing that just happened. So to say that you didn't do it, it's in the meeting minutes, so don't turn around and say you don't know about it. So to say that you never knew about something that's happening, it has been happening. It has been happening since the 80s, and it continues on. And he was the guidance counselor that did it. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're saying that this is something that we're going to try and put forward and try and help out. You're worried about saying the music program is going to flourish because one person is not going to actually mitigate what happened. Yet this is a systemic issue within the school district. You had a teacher 2 years ago who actually used somebody's COVID shot. You're saying that there's an says you don't. So that you mitigate things like this from happening because this is consistently happening. All right, it happened back in the 80s. It happened at another gentleman. It happened out here. So this gentleman obviously did his research about it's pathetic because then you reviewed the policy, but you need to when you say you reviewed the policy because as far as we're concerned, when I look to see the date stamp as to what it says, you have a policy based on a specific date. That's when we think that you've done that. So you guys are turning around and making these to a certain extent, I wouldn't say bold-faced lies, but I think they are because you do know about this. You've been fighting this lawsuit, increased our budget last year by $2.8 million to cover the settlement, or to pay the lawyers instead of maybe using insurance, which is insurance for this. So how can you turn around and say you don't know about this when you're actually actively fighting this and you're still fighting? And I think the parents here who all relatively new, I'm probably one of the oldest people within this district, these parents and it's going to continue going on, and for them to say we can't continue going on, and for them to say we can't turn around and look at the internet like that gentleman with the title that said, that's a lie. There's software available for the students in this school to go on a program from the school. We need to have some kind of other chaperone at these programs to mitigate this, because this has been an ongoing issue with this lawsuit that's going on right now, and you know about that, and this should not surprise you.
So, you're going to say, just so that I want to make sure. Some of the things you said in that statement are factually inaccurate. They may be your opinion, but they're not correct. And I'm going to read to you our statement that we made a couple of months ago with regards to some of those cases that you're talking about. We are writing to you to share an important update regarding a serious matter that has impacted our school district. As you may know, in 2019, New York State implemented the Child Victims Act, legislation that extends the statute of limitations for a victim of child sex abuse to take legal action. School districts across our region, including our own, so we admit it, and we let everyone know. So if it's your opinion that we've been fighting these cases since the 80s, you're wrong.
No,
Just so that you have it clear. But that's what we said, and we want to make sure the record is clear for those watching at home. Have never lied to the public, not once. We stand for transparency. We stand for full access, equity, and equality for everybody in the district. You made the accusation, so I'm going to continue reading so that you have the full brunt of what was going on. Lawsuits stemming from the child death, including our own. In our cases, the alleged incidents occurred in the 70s and 80s for 30 to 40 years. The allegations against former staff are deeply disturbing, and our district is to cooperate at every step of the process. We will continue to keep the community updated on the matter, including the possibility of funding settlements. The district remains committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of our students through swift response to any allegation of this nature. And I will tell you, from Tuesday night to today, that staff member is no longer employed here. I think that was pretty swift. In addition, we continue our long-standing and ongoing mandatory training with our entire staff, including how to recognize signs of potential abuse and how to report any suspicion of wrongdoing. Our students' health and safety remain our top priority. And I hope everybody understands that. We've said that before. We've been clear. This is not tolerable in anyone's vision of what the normal, everyday, quality, good life of the families that live in this district would put up with. Our staff members agree with it. Our families agree with it. And my applause to the students and the parents who quickly reported this to us and how quickly the reaction and the actions that took place to protect our students. So, we're done with that part. Anyone else have a question or comment from the public? Yes, sir. So, by the microphone, please, so they can hear you at home.
Yeah, I'm Russell Stewart. I live in Albertson. Condolences to Mr. Michaels. It's great. You talk about, like safety and concerns over the kids. But I haven't heard you guys say that you want to have, look, I don't think it's going to be in the entire school district for Long Island does not know what happened, right? But I haven't heard you say, we're going to have an assembly, we're going to do something to educate so these kids can be vigilant. You haven't. You talked about what you did, yeah, that was good. You had no choice, but now you have the ability to really make this a learning experience.
Teachable moment.
Absolutely, and I haven't heard anybody say that yet.
So just so that I can say this to you, it's almost 48 hours from when it started. We've been going through the machinations of trying to figure out, getting all the truth, all the facts, not the rumor and innuendo, figuring it all out, putting it all in, between two guardrails and dealing with it. This process continues to evolve for our students' sake over the next, I don't even want to say days, weeks or whatever. And they will be afforded an opportunity to be addressed with this, whether they want to do it privately or publicly.
Yeah, but I think it needs to be more broadly done, because like others have said, kids aren't going to come up and talk to an adult and tell them all the stuff that's going through their mind about this.
Right.
And they're hearing it from their children, from their friends, from their parents, from their friends' parents. I've been in calls with people from other districts. This has to be done, and it should be done immediately. To let it fester can only make it worse. And we cannot have these kind of things just linger, because unfortunately, in the society that we live in, it's guilty until proven innocent. That's just the reality, especially around social media. I think we all know that social media is very dangerous, and our kids have to be very vigilant, diligent, and be there for their friends. And as parents, We have to make sure that, look, you cannot control what someone does in private. I don't care what anybody says. There's plenty of stuff that people do behind closed doors. But you have an opportunity now to help the kids who may not know how to be vigilant, to be vigilant. It should be almost a math class these days because it happens in 1 minute, somebody's life is ruined. Some video pops up that the kid didn't even know was even out there, and their life was ruined. And this guy, scum, whatever you want to call him, he was definitely in the wrong. But there are kids that could have easily been a kid, could have been a student here. They don't know, and they don't. You have to be quick about this and get the kids trained. And I'm telling you, it should be almost a monthly thing. It shouldn't take it lightly.
I don't disagree. I do want to share with the board that we do have digital citizenship and digital awareness activities and lessons that unfold. I hear what you're saying. I think this is another layer to that. And I do think that there's value. I'm not sure that I understand exactly the construct that you were describing in terms of what you envision, but I do understand the value in using teachable moments to lean into the learning with our kids. But it is something that we talk about, and in fact, it is stuff that happens. Yes, but I
I'm happy
appreciate
to sit with you and tell you some of my vision because I think it's pretty evident when it's act.
No, I appreciate that.
And we do a lot of that now, digital citizenship, but we do a lot with them, and I think that was one of the reasons why it got out so fast, especially to the team, that the students and the families.
The kids are the ones that got it out, that's the
Of course.
thing.
And
So that's exactly
the
why
time.
we have to be on top of it also, because the kids found out before me, right? They found out, 1 million viewers saw that, none of us saw, right? The kids who live in their palm of their hand, I guarantee you, they have that phone in their hand for 12 hours, every single minute they're awake.
And that's why there's the two most important people, or most important person, and that's you. I'm sorry, I don't know what's up. So, and that's why the parental role, the guardian role for every student is so important. You having that relationship with your child, or whatever that relationship is, and making sure that it's open and able to be shared, because we can't hide behind this thing. Our whole world gets destroyed by it at the same time. So, okay, ma'am, you had another question?
I was just thinking hopefully other teachers will get implicated because of that kind of action. But I was thinking if we would the teachers have some kind of a way for them to maybe report something, but not put their job on the line or their relationship with their colleagues on the line. I feel like if someone is into doing certain things, they probably do these little traces.
A reporting system.
So, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so that's just my idea.
Thank you. Can you tell us who you are, please?
My name is Jackie.
Sorry, the mic, it sounds.
My name is Jessie Santana. I live in Albertson. I really appreciate what the board do this section to answer the question. There's some parents that are disappointed. I have to be honest, the doors are open. So I told the superintendent today, he picked up my call in 15 minutes. He answered all my questions one-to-one. I told the principal and the member of the school, yes, answer all my questions and listen for me half an hour. But I asked the board, a few points. I have 3 ideas here. Is protecting the kids, we appreciate you. We want to ask for the kids, we appreciate you. But we definitely need to have some changes.
I wrote them all.
All the ideas are really good. This last idea of the hotline, we should implement. We should implement, yes, we have a lot of activities, and Mr. Hart, Tina Hawkins from the middle school is a leader about it. We should keep more resources to work. Definitely, if we have a problem. In addition to that, definitely we need to put more technology in place to have everything monitored more closely. We're in a different world. You cannot have like how many referrals you put in that resume. Of course, it's gonna be my trusting my sister. Everybody gonna talk nice about it. We should step up and live in the 21st century and put technology to try to improve those processes. But I appreciate everything that you do because that even at 10:15 make me sleep at night that you guys have the control of the process. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, stand right there.
My name is Ben Sherry, I'm from North Hills. I also appreciate the board for what you guys are doing. I know it's not easy for you to be here right now to especially be able to answer these questions, knowing the information you know. But as everyone said here, there are some suggestions and concerns from the parents. I'm also a previous educator, and one of the things that I used to do for my staff was have a student evaluation. So I don't know if you do that right now, per semester. The students are very perceptive. So right now, if a teacher says something inappropriate, they report it on their phones. But at the end of the day, at the end of the semester, if we give them an opportunity to say, you know, did your professor say something inappropriate, do something inappropriate? I think someone said it. This is not the first time this individual did this. And so if there are some red flags that the students can pick up on, we can be on top of it to prevent this in the future. And the second question is, are you guys preparing any kind of like a task force to see what you can do to prevent this kind of thing in the future? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody on this side of the room, or just the other talkers tonight? Anybody? Anybody here? Oh, yes.
Just a general quick question. So my son wanted to
You
try out.
gotta come to the mic, I'm sorry.
I don't think that mic works, but okay.
You know, apparently none of them are working.
If you stand where he stood, it works. So, I think it's a pretty good one.
My name is Yelena Kuto. I'm from Syracuse Elementary Middle School, sixth grader, who was very excited to try out for the jazz band. So, will the tryouts actually happen? Will there be auditions next week? Should we be practicing the piece that we wanted to play, or what do you have in store for the week?
There will be a jazz band, yes. I don't know if it's gonna happen exactly next week. The timeline might need to be adjusted slightly, but there will be a jazz
Email
band.
will be going out.
You'll get information, yes.
Okay.
And if it gets delayed, it's just more practice.
Keep practicing. Yeah.
And always feel free to contact the school and see what's happening.
Yeah, that was my next question. Thank you.
Okay, sir? No? Yes, young man.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, what's your name?
I'm Blake. I go to middle school. And like, I'm just thinking like, I guess like, be more transparent with the students, cause like, we know a lot and stuff, like, so. I think, cause like, I had health class, right, and my teacher, he's gotta be transparent with everything. And he was being transparent about not being able to be transparent about the whole situation. And so I think we should be more transparent, because student education is a good thing. And we can learn a lot from us. I think so.
You're right. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else? Yes, Mr. Moline. We need the microphone.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Does the school have in place any kind of measures that would actually monitor what happens on people's smartphones. Because I know you have policies that relate to a lot of us, but it seems that most kids today unfortunately have their own smartphone, and that's where the problem lies. And I don't know if, again, what I said earlier, I don't know if you actually have any kind of cybersecurity measures in place, or if you're actually not going to consider that, considering what's going on, because, you know, there are a lot of parents that I've spoken to over the years that they tell me that a lot of these kids have the ability to download an app that looks like it's one thing, but it's really something else. And I think we really need to try and get, as this young student just said, maybe task force with some of the students and the parents to take a look at what these apps are, because the fact of the matter is, you know, this device is one of the greatest tools that are made, but it's also the biggest enemy. And because the parents may not be as astute as the students with technology and the phones and how these kids have it as an extension of their hand, the fact of the matter is, this is something that for me that has kids still in elementary school who do not have a phone, and we monitor everything and have every kind of security measure in place within our home. The fact of the matter is, I don't know if the school blocks certain things, which you could very easily do. We do. So, and also there are apps, like there are apps that, again, one dad told me these kids have an app, you look at it, it's like a calculator, or when you open it up, it's something that's inappropriate. So, you know, it's like, you know, cybersecurity and technology is the greatest threat on top of, you know, artificial intelligence, things like that. And this is stuff that, while the school academically does well, this could be a very slippery slope that takes the school down a very bad path that, you know, this has to be really looked at in a much bigger way that, again, transparency, you know, you need to let the parents know, because yes, you got banded up to the 48 hours, but as the other parent said, the students were the first to find it because they're on social media till the wee hours of the morning. And we're not, you know, we're getting their sleep, but they're not. So it's like, you know, I guess you got to take advantage of what technology has to offer, because there are ways to monitor it without you monitoring it, and it can find what goes on. And that's my point about that.
Anybody else? Mr. Rothschild, you going to change the subject or the same?
Good evening. My name is Ravindra Rata. And first of all, I want to salute Chris coming out and sharing his OD. And that is kind of example for the country. It's a model. And that's a big thing. And I want to salute you. It's not easy. It's very brave of you. And I thank you. Second thing is I want to congratulate Central School for getting selected for Blue Ribbon and all the kids who are selected for the award. And I want to congratulate all the students, all the teachers, all the parents for their hard work. And also I want to send my condolences to all the fighters and for that. Other than that, I know we talked a lot about viral videos, and it's not going to divide too much into that. But only one question I had is, I know when we hire a teacher, we go through a lot of background checks, do a lot of verification. But once the initial is done, do we do something periodically to recheck, make sure something we missed last time, we can catch it. So this way we don't, we can catch. Your bad apple will be there, when you have bad apple on a bad apple will not come. You cannot solve everything, but whatever prevention you can take, then we do that. Other than that, just 2 points, I have raised that too, and I would like to get update from 2000. I have raised the question in meeting and two-way communication, and also building, making that bathroom available for the students while schools are open, but they are up there. And I know this the guy will come and clean, but when they clean, I'm sure anybody who stands by there when they come and clean, how bad you cannot even stand. I guarantee you that. So make sure, we have back to make, we spend $100,000 for those. We need to make it available for the students. We don't have to separate the students for those unhygienic, unhealthy situations.
Since you report to us about that, they're looking at something to adjust that. So stay tuned. Okay? Ma'am?
I think that my son just demonstrated that students really need to be seen and they need to be heard. And I think an open forum, just like this, with the students, whoever wants to attend, it really needs to be happening. An open forum.
Anybody else? Okay. Yes, ma'am. It's, see if it's on.
Yeah. Sorry. You gotta get it right up, right?
I found out about this through my daughter's Snapchat actually before the email went out, and then got to the right too. So I was able to find it before she woke up in the morning, and then discussed it with her before she opened her Snapchat to look at it. She doesn't take jazz band, but I knew they were going to talk about it in school. What I want to address here is a little bit different. It's, I'm assuming legally you have to send a blanket statement and you can't give out the link or the information of the personnel or anything like that. But as the Board of Ed, you understand also as parents that another parent here could have a child in one of the 6 buildings of our district, not knowing what teacher is being talked about, what is going on, and their child may be looking at this already like, this was not a conversation I wanted to have with my 7th grader. We still go with kissing scenes and movies. But I had to sit down and talk to her about it. But then when they're talking about it on social media or on the WhatsApp groups, the admins are told not to discuss it and don't send any information out. So I feel like at some point the parent, what if that parent, how that parent feels who has no information and their child knows more than they do or they don't know. We have to figure out a date where parents need to have, as Blake said, the transparency as well, because even though this person is being protected legally, the district and the students and families need to be protected as well. So I don't know what the solution is, but I'm sharing my opinion.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? You're sure? You'll have another chance in a little while to come back again. So we're going to move forward now to Roman numeral 9, A through D.
I'd like to move Roman numeral 9, A through D, approval of life insurance rates, rider to agreements and special entities and contracts. This entirety.
May I have a second, please?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to move on to 9, approve EF, approval of motion letter of intent, and approval of consultant in its entirety.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Thank you, Nancy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Henry, can you move G and H, please?
I'd like to move G and H, approval of trip to NISBA, New York State School Music Association, all all-state conference with performing ensemble and for high school chamber choir. They're invited.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Julie, can you move aye, please?
I'd like to move I, approval to dispose of obsolete science textbooks at the middle school.
I'll second that. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, now we're going to return to the next item, questions or comments from the public. It's just how it works. So, like they say at that wonderful ceremony, speak now or forever hold your peace. No. But if you'd like, anyone have anything else they'd like to say? The disclaimer stands the same. Anybody? No. We want to thank you for your cooperation tonight. So, moving forward, do board members have any new business or future agenda items they'd like to add?
I feel like I did, but I can't remember what it is now. Didn't we talk about it? Did I?
I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Okay, next time. Our upcoming meeting dates are October 5th, October 19th, November 2nd. On November 16th, our meeting is at the high school. It's a regular meeting, which is an open forum with the children. Thank you, Henry. We meet at the high school government, and we go through a little round table. We call it a fireside chat. And they tell us their wish list or good and bad things and things they want to change or look at. And then the following meeting is a Wednesday, December 6th at the middle school. And that'll be a regular meeting.
Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to add that the statement that was shared earlier will be sent home to families in an email form so that those who are not here or not able to watch online will have the information that we shared tonight about the topic we'll be discussing.
Okay.
Last question. Sorry, Nancy, for just.
We're gonna let you slide, okay? If you're gonna make it quick.
They came to my house, they redistricted the area, and then you're running for the town council.
Yeah, but that's not about this meeting.
Are you gonna resign your position if you win?
That's not about this meeting. You can ask me that personally, but that conversation is not part of this meeting.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you. Okay, I'd like to make someone move to executive session, please. So move. I have a second. All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.